Hi, HRN listeners. We're celebrating our 15th anniversary, and we have a really fun campaign and an ask for you. This 15th anniversary tour is aiming to bring you closer to unique food and music experiences in some of the most exciting cities in America. All the while, we're raising funds to support our work empowering the next generation of food systems storytellers through our fellowship programs. Here's how it works. Donate to HRN and be entered into a raffle in the city of your choice to win a dinner for two at a noteworthy restaurant and tickets for two to a concert at a prominent local venue. We have incredible partners in New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Nashville, Las Vegas, Charleston, Asheville, and Ardmore, Pennsylvania, who have donated a meal for two and two tickets to a concert of the winner's choice. And all donations help fund our fellowship programs, where we're helping to build essential workforce readiness skills and food system storytelling skills. Check out heritageradionetwork.org/15 to donate and enter to win today. That's heritageradionetwork.org/15. Thank you.
This episode is presented by Corgi Spirits and Chai Pani Restaurant Group.
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network. We're a member-supported food radio network broadcasting over 35 weekly shows live from Bushwick, Brooklyn. Join our hosts as they lead you through the world of craft brewing, behind the scenes of the restaurant industry, inside the battle over school food, and beyond. Find us at heritageradionetwork.org.
So you don't shun the devil with your rock and roll load. Knows that country music's gonna save your soul. The devil runs his groove in them rhythm and blues that sound. It's gonna get you some in the air.
Welcome back to the Speakeasy. I'm Damon Bolte.
My name is Sother Teague.
Hey, Sother. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, buddy. What's going on?
You know, I was just thinking, fall is in the air.
Fall is in the air.
It is, man. What's your favorite? Okay, so I feel like Amore and Margot, you know, since you guys do all stirred bitter cocktails, it's like, this is like you're coming into your season, man. I mean, I know like there's certain, like I'll have a Negroni year round.
Of course.
You know, like to me, that's a very refreshing summer drink. I don't know if that speaks to my character like in a negative way.
Well, I feel like we flip over to like, you know, your rum Negroni, your rye whiskey Negroni. Like we switch gears and
you go to the Boulevardier.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's your
the
favorite?
Old Pal.
Yeah, the Old Pal. Which I'm sure you use Old Overholt in.
You know what?
You don't?
Have you seen the new bonded Overholt release?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my Old Pal.
When I saw that, I was like, "It's Sother. He's gonna freak."
I did freak out.
Yeah.
Like I had a little. I thought it was fake. I thought someone posted a fake thing. I had to go to my sources and be like, "Is this for real?"
You know what? I've only seen
Rosser Lomax, and he said, "Happy early birthday."
But here's the thing: does it have the red cap? Because I haven't seen that part yet. I've only seen the label online. Because it used to have a red cap.
I'm colorblind, so I'm thinking about that right now.
That's why you picked out those glasses, right?
It is. It is.
With the red frames.
It's true. I was alone in the glasses store. Nobody knows that. Well, I guess some people know that story, but yeah, I picked them out because I thought I just liked the way they looked. I mean, I don't really like glasses at all, but I kind of was like, well, these are at least calling to me in some way. And then I got them home, and Natalie said, "Did you pick those out yourself?" I was like, "Yeah, why? Did you know they're bright red?" Nope.
Well, okay, so that aside, that's a whole other show. But
that's a television show, so people can see
exactly.
it.
But what's your go-to fall ingredient?
You know, I change up all the time, and I think it's again not a secret that I try and keep by any means, but I just don't think people notice how much cognac I drink. I'm a big fan of cognac, and I do feel that it lends itself beautifully to sort of fall cocktails.
Yeah,
like I'm a cognac nerd.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your go-to?
I love cognac, man. Actually, we need
to. Do you jump over the fence and do some Armagnac as well?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I like pretty much any like French brandy. Like I love Calvados. I mean, like I mean, like it's all like it's built for fall.
Absolutely. I mean, even American, Laird's apple brandy, that's a jam.
Yeah, totally, man.
Definitely fallish. Put a little pumpkin spice on there, boom, you're out.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we are in the middle of pumpkin spice latte season.
Oof.
But let's talk about something else.
Yeah. TV on the radio. In the studio today, we've got Andrew Meltzer, all the way in from San Francisco. I've heard of it. How you doing?
I'm doing real well, gents. Thanks for having me.
Dude, really happy to see you.
You too.
Just a quick intro. Andrew is, like me, the president of the United States Bartenders Guild, but he's San Francisco. Is also last year's World Class USA winner. Yeah?
Congratulations.
Correct. Yeah, 2016 champion. I'll hold on to it as long as I can.
I guess you get to hold on to that title forever.
Yeah, they can't take my
There'll be
trophy
no
away.
other 2016 champion. You took it.
So you're doing like shaking cocktails in a plane that was doing like loop-de-loops, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I call Superman and turn time backwards.
That's my red and white dynamite I just cracked open.
Yep, you sure did.
It is brunch time.
Yeah.
Ish. Let's talk about world class some. I think maybe
We haven't really spoken a lot about...
we really haven't. You know, I did it the first 2 years it was available here, and I did really well both years, but not well enough to consider keeping going. It was a different tier and a different structure when I did it. I was top 4 the first year, and then I was top 20, and I never made it any higher than that the second year. And I considered doing it the third year, but I got busy. Like it's an endeavor.
It's a huge time commitment. It's not like most cocktail competitions, which are really popular in the industry. You can take a good cocktail you already have in your back pocket, change the brand, and send it in the day before. That works in most departments, but not with World Class because it's so much thought goes into it, like writing a menu, some essay questions, and then having a whole portfolio of cocktails, not just a single drink.
Mm-hmm. And being ready to do stuff on the fly. I remember it was broken up into kind of weird brackets the first year. They've changed it really considerably. But
Yeah.
the first year, we had to do, I think you still do it, right? The mystery box kind of deal. So we did that, but we also did dessert pairing, random. They brought out a bunch of desserts, and we had to pair a cocktail with it, like on the fly.
Every
our
year
back
the
bar.
challenges change, but they follow the same principles. There's usually a speed round, and then something that's a food pairing, and then also an on-the-fly either farmer's market challenge or something like Iron Chef, where you hang out with a chef and they teach you new culinary techniques or introduce you to new interesting regional ingredients, and maybe you'll have an hour or up to a full day to prepare a cocktail.
That's the part that really intrigues me. I know, obviously, Sother, you were chef for a while, and like you've gone through that world, and I've gotten to like work with some really amazing chefs, but like I haven't gotten to really like spend that much time like learning the techniques because a lot of them don't really necessarily apply to like directly to making cocktails, but understanding the techniques can give you a different perspective on the application.
Yeah, and when it
sure,
comes
if you
to pairing food,
Yeah.
knowing how your chef prepared an entree may affect the way you prepare special ingredients for your cocktails.
Sure.
What's the part that you feel like was the most challenging, and then what's the part you feel like was the most fun?
Well, the one that's
that could be
most
the same, I
challenging
guess.
for everybody is the speed round because they usually put the
I
most
smoked that. That was
intimidating
easy.
judges in front of you.
Nah.
And I like that round. I do pretty well in there because I can walk and talk at the same time. But the challenges that most entertain me are the ritual theater or outside the box challenges that really show your creativity. So they change. One year it was about sensory elements, and you had to involve as many sights, sounds, things that you touch and smell into your presentation. So I pretended to be a hippie on the side of the road off Interstate 5, and I gave the judges an aura cleansing, which involved salt and smoke and tarot cards and them walking across tile floors in the middle of the summer.
Was Gary
with no
Regan
shoes.
one of the judges? 'Cause
No.
if he was,
He would have loved that.
Yeah, he would have loved it.
Winner.
It was Dave Nepov and Jacques Bezuidenhout.
Right on.
And they'll never forget nor forgive me for that one.
That's pretty awesome.
And in another year, you had to be inspired by either an actor or a director or a character within a movie. So you could do anything you wanted from American film. And I took a risky card and I did Forrest Gump. So I dressed and played and acted like Forrest Gump, and I shaved my beard off. And I got a box of custom-made chocolates, and each of the 3 chocolates was made with a different Diageo Reserve spirit, like Bullet, Tanqueray, or Zacapa rum. And each one...
you made them?
No, you got to reach out to all your connections
Yeah,
for
you
this.
gotta
So I knew some truffle ladies in San Francisco at the 6-course truffles, and they
Of course you
made
did.
yeah. What the best one I fed Charles Jolie, who's the U.S. global winner a few years ago, and well-known bartender. I fed him a Zacapa and Creole caramel chocolate that had a candied shrimp on top, and it was a little dried shrimp I got in Japantown, and we candied them in chili seasoning and put it on top of the truffles.
Amazing.
It tasted surprisingly decent, and I can't believe he ate it.
Surprisingly decent. All right.
That's going to be our new tagline for the show. Surprisingly decent.
Yes. Yeah.
I already made the T-shirts. I'll send them your way. So we just got back from the global finals in Mexico City.
That's right. Yeah. How did that go? I know. So we were all rooting here for Chris, who was this year's 2017's USA winner. He was down at the globals in Mexico. He did not win, but
He came in 5th out of 55 countries,
That ain't too
which
shabby.
was fantastic. Yeah, that was better than most U.S. competitors had done. His name is Chris Cardone. He's from
man.
New York City here, and he did an incredible job.
So Diageo flew you down for it, or you just went to watch?
They flew me down. I was his glorified barback. So, at the end of the day, a lot of it is the strength of a team. Chris used so many of his own skills and talents on stage, and it's nice when you've got somebody helping you cut ice or make syrups on the fly in the back of house and helping you get prepped. So it was really exciting to be able to help him run through his lines and fine-tune him, and man, did he blow everybody away. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. He came and did a couple of stages at Amor y Amargo just because he wanted to deepen his Amaro knowledge before Mexico.
That sounds awesome. That's great use of free labor. You can sign me up for a shift too.
Well, while you're in town, let's get that done. I'm still not 100% behind the bar. So you're mentioning more than 1 year. You did it more than once?
Yeah, I entered 3 years in a row. The first year I didn't make it, but I did get an opportunity to volunteer back of house with Andy Seymour's team at Liquid Productions.
Yep.
They do all the back of house work there. And that was an incredible benefit for me because I got to see how everything worked behind the stages, and I got to view some of the more creative bartenders in the country giving their presentations.
Yeah.
So that gave me a lot of ideas that I could interpret into the next year's challenges.
Right. And then second year you made it in, third year you won it.
Yeah.
That's great because Chris, I think that was his fourth or
four,
fifth.
4 years and 3 going to nationals. And literally just getting into the nationals, that means you're committing 6 months of all your creative energy, your free time into practicing the speed rounds. You got to,
That's a
instead of
giant-
time with
giant
your
endeavor.
kids, you're going
insane.
through your ritual theater challenges.
Right, are you doing it with him?
Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of energy, effort, time put into that thing. That's why I said
I'm too old for that
after
shit.
2 years, I was like, you know what, I would really like to win that prize, but it's beyond my.
What is the prize?
There we go. What's the prize?
Well, you could say nothing, but I like to say you get an awesome opportunity the following year. So this last year, I got to go around the country to many cities and help with educational presentations with the Diageo team. And it's really cool because they let bartenders teach bartenders, and it's not a ton of brand education. It's more valuable things like how taste and flavor work on a chemical level. And more valuable things that they can actually use in their day-to-day jobs. At the same time, we use Bullet Bourbon and Don Julio Tequila in the drinks and definitely get some brand points across. But the idea is to remember that this is the brand that taught you valuable life skills.
Yeah, broader stroke educational opportunities.
Yeah,
Which we're both involved in with our positions at USBG, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, we don't want to just stomp the ground with a brand education. We want to educate on the category, and then if we can get some brand education squeaked in there, that's a bonus.
And, well, we're the lucky chapters because you as the president of New York City and myself as the president of San Francisco, we have a lot of opportunity at our door and a lot of brands that really want to participate with us. So it gives us a little leverage, and instead of only offering branded lunches where you talk about one brand's ingredients and this and that, we do offer more categorical trainings, and we're allowed to bring in, I think, unusual education like good posture or
It makes a
financial
difference.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, financial skills.
Yeah.
Where's Jason Luttrell when I need him?
We just had a meeting that was about stress reduction for bartenders. And it was incredible, the sort of group therapy that acted as.
It's easy for you to say. You live in San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we had some legalities here.
Oh, yeah, the stress reduction.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Can we say that on radio?
We can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's called the Green Door Tavern. That's where we have all of our meetings.
The Green Door Tavern. Nice. Beats the snot out of a snackery. So you get to travel around. That's the prize, right? You're kind of like a de facto brand ambassador, or at least just ambassador to the world of cocktailing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also got to judge all the regional finals and the national finals in the
that's
US this
fun.
year. So
You get to sit on the other side of the thing.
and it's incredible. Not only do you not have to check bags anymore with hundreds of pieces of glassware and all of your life value and tools, but I get to see 60 to 70 of the best bartenders in America bring their creative best to the table. And it's really inspiring because I still manage a cocktail bar and I have to write cocktail menus seasonally. And I get a lot of really interesting ideas, not just on techniques or flavors, but service styles and presentations of cocktails.
Yeah, no, it's great stuff to watch. And are they simulcasting that or anything?
The World Class Globals did. You can go to
but the regionals, not so much, right?
Not the regionals. I wish that they did because most of the competitors know that they're not going to win. You know, out of 60, 70 competitors, only one person's going to get the gold trophy. But the real value is how much knowledge and camaraderie and networking you gain from it. So I think that even not getting in the first year and losing the second year, I left as a winner because I made so many great connections and I learned so much about cocktailing just through the competitive phase.
Right.
That's really cool.
So this is a lot of travel, right? What do you say? It's at least a once a month travel that you've done for the past year then?
Yeah, and it's in bulk. So April and May I was gone every week, and then I was at home at the bar June and July, and then August I've been on the road all month long. So I'm very fortunate that my GM, Ian, I hope he's drinking some sherry or sleeping, covers the bar for a month at a time while I'm gone, and then he goes off to Spain and I watch the ship.
That's cool. And let's talk about the bar scene. Let's plug your spots. 15 Romolo,
Please.
San Francisco. You're in kind of an alleyway. You're near a bunch of...
It's the red light. It's
strip
the
clubs?
red light district. I wouldn't even glorify them as strip clubs because they're not the places you want to send your brother, father, or anybody you like into. But it is a really interesting neighborhood. It's right on the edge of Little Italy and Chinatown. In what was a red light district, it still gets a little rowdy on the weekends.
I read somewhere the
it's a lot of
space itself
tourists.
is a former brothel. Is that true?
It was. We still operate the hotel above it, which is like a SRO, a single residency occupancy, or a long-term hostel, if you would. Mm-hmm. And it was run by a couple Basque women for many generations, and they ran the restaurant downstairs, which is now the bar. So it used to be rented by the hour, and then
deposits on the sheets.
We foolishly spent years renting it by the day, and then by the third day, and then now we're at the point that it's a monthly only rental. So you got to apply and take an STD test.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Well, that seems like a good place to take a break.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll pause the show for a second, hear from our sponsors, and then we'll come back. We'll touch more on 15 Romolo, and then you've got some other junk you do.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
This episode is presented by Corgi Spirits. Housed to Jersey City's first and only distillery, Corgi Spirits meticulously crafts small batch, ultra premium gins with wonderfully unique botanical blends. Their brilliant spirits are suited for drinking on their own or in making cocktails that are refined yet playful, much like the dogs after which the brand is named. Every ounce of Corgi's handcrafted products shows their commitment to the pursuit of spirits supremacy, pairing flavor with flavor for the ultimate alchemical combination. And because Corgi Spirits love dogs as much as they appreciate exceptional drinks, a portion of profits from every bottle of Corgi is donated to local dog and animal rescue organizations. Learn more about their mission to craft a better breed of spirits while helping save animals by visiting corgispirits.com. This episode is also sponsored by Chai Pani Restaurant Group. From Bombay to Buncombe and Asheville to Atlanta, Chai Pani has extended the love of food, culinary experience, and storytelling to the Southeast. Founded by Marwan and Molly Irani, Chai Pani Restaurant Group includes 2 locations of Chai Pani, plus MG Road Bar and Lounge, Badawala, and Buxton Hall Barbecue. Learn more about Chai Pani and watch their documentary series, Cutting Chai, at chaipanirestaurantgroup.com. That's CHAIPANI restaurantgroup.com.
And we are back. You're listening to the Speakeasy, and we're talking with Andrew about 15 Romolo and World Class and all things San Francisco. You know, actually, I went my very first time in San Francisco. I have to thank the good people at Beretta and De La Rosa and Ryan Fitzgerald for inviting me out there to guest bartend. And Ryan's been on the show a couple times, and now he's got this great bar called ABV. He kind of took me out, and we went on a whirlwind tour of all the bars and restaurants in San Francisco in a day. And a couple of his, when we finally had to kind of tap out, a couple of his staff members from Beretta took me to the North End where 15 Romolo is, and I was like, this was like 7 years ago or so, maybe 8 years ago, I don't know, something like that. And
Romolo's been around for a bit, right? Is it the 15th year right now?
We're coming on year 20 this
Holy
next
shit.
year. Yeah.
It's insane.
Big plans. We're going to have to write a yearbook or something.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Definitely not a cocktail book.
Should have done that at 15.
Yeah.
You know, 15 Romolo turns 15. Get it?
We did. We made a cool sign for the alleyway.
Okay.
And had a big party all summer long.
Did you make hoodies?
No.
Because that's the
They'll be
thing. It's
coming.
like that's my memory of 15 Romolo. The first time I went there, I'm like suited up, you know, like this is back when like I was still wearing like vests and ties, and I'm not knocking that, but like I don't do it anymore. Just because I'm like,
You've relaxed your grip. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, went to 15 Romolo, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here, man? I'm like, it was my first time in San Francisco at all. Like,
Oh wow!
ever.
You know, I used to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived on Turk and Hyde.
God bless you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you want to make it worse? This was 1992. Like it was rough. It was warring factions of gangs all over the place, and ladies of the evening on my corner all over the place. I'd get accosted all the time.
And not
like,
always
ladies. I live here.
Not always ladies.
And not always ladies. Yeah, It was a different time.
Yeah.
It's a super gentrified neighborhood now, the Tenderloin.
I know.
Every
That's the
other
Tenderloin
day.
neighborhood. That's right. So I went back there some years ago, and there was like a Ben and Jerry's on the corner, and I was like, "What? You get stabbed? Like that's a stabbing corner."
I get stabbed with a
I mean,
cone
that corner
with an ice
still
cream
is
cone.
good for a stabbing, but most of the other corners, yeah, you can get a cold brew.
Cold brew coffee, nitro push.
Yeah, you know when you get a cold brew, it's like it's over, man.
Yeah, it's gentrified.
Get the PSL.
So I'm sorry, I jumped in on your story. So you went in there.
No,
What's
yeah.
going
So
on?
I'm like suited up and everything, like kicking around town and rolling to 15 Romolo, and I'm like seeing all these like it's California, man. It's California. Like dudes wearing like snapbacks and like hoodie, like Fernet hoodies and USBG like t-shirts and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is what bartenders wear when they're not bartending, but you're bartending. It was like,
that was the bartenders.
yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah, it was like I was super like
Casual.
casual. Everyone was partying. It was great.
Green Door
Yeah, it's
Tavern.
awesome. It's a cocktail bar without a freezer for glassware, and we don't have fancy ice. And
Yeah,
that
we
do have fresh fruit juice, and we have really innovative cocktails that have a huge seasonal focus.
Yeah.
But it's an unpretentious bar. It's like
Exactly.
a little alleyway saloon that has good cocktails, and you
Kyle
can
Ford was working there.
you can be loud,
time.
you can swear,
Yeah.
you can eat a peanut butter burger at 1:30 in the morning.
The peanut butter burger.
Butter burger.
You
Wait,
sit
Kyle
there.
Ford was there at that time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah,
Yep.
probably 6-7 years ago.
That's when I met him. And Rachel was at Rick House.
Right.
Yeah, they ran the entire block
Yeah.
from financial district up to North Beach.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a super exciting place. I've been
It
there
is.
for 5 years now, and it's definitely where I got my upbringing and found many of my mentors.
Yeah. It's cool, man. It's
How good is your win at World Class? How good is that for the bar?
Oh, it's been great. I was very lucky to be on a television show that they produced, that World Class produced, called The List. It's at makeitworldclass.com/The List. And it was kind of like an Anthony Bourdain style travel show where we weren't in cocktail bars so much as hanging out with bartenders behind the scenes. What does a bartender do on their day off? So I got
We do a radio show
yeah.
on our day off.
I wish that mine was just on the radio. I wouldn't have had to shave.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun producing that, and a lot of great media opportunities have come from it. So it's been, like I said, it's been great that I've had the opportunity to travel and reach out and also offer more education to bartenders all around the country, which is something I'm really passionate about. And at the same time, when I get back to San Francisco, I usually have a job waiting for me back at the home bar.
Sure. That's rad. It's really rad that they're being so accommodating with your schedule being so, I don't know, herky-jerky.
Yeah.
Right? Like Tyson Bueller, who works just next door to me at that little bar, Death and Company. Once again, I really hope they make it. Like, they're plugging right along.
Yeah, man. They're working hard.
Plucky little bar. I hope
They'll
Fingers
probably
crossed.
have a line out the door.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood for them.
Yeah, I hope they make it.
They're my prayers.
But he's gone all the time, too, because he was a couple of years ago winner.
Yeah, he still manages to work his bar like 5 nights a week. I text him, I'm like, "What are you up to?" He's like, "I actually go to work in my bar." I'm like, "Oh, I'm on vacation again."
Yeah, that's more the Jeff Bell model.
Yeah,
Bell's down to 1 day a week over at the PDT.
Yeah. And he won world class.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm listing all
Yeah.
the world class
Yeah,
winners.
you're really doing a good job,
pushing it.
buddy.
I'm up on it, man. I mean,
he wants to judge next year.
I would love to judge.
You should. You'd be a great. They've really focused on bringing in exceptional bartenders and bar owners as judges.
All right, so I'm out then.
Yeah, but you own a good bar or two, a few of them. But
yeah.
I think that they want, role models like yourself as the judges instead of brand ambassadors
Sure.
or distillers. As much as they know about spirits and the business, it's nice to have somebody that's in the same shoes as you.
Well, pitch my name. I don't know who you got to pitch it to, but I would love to do that. I really was into it when I did it, and I do think it's a valuable. I don't know. It's a valuable program that they're pushing out there. Like, it's cool.
Even more than
Like
having a few dozen competitors get into the competition, we go around the country and we train over 1,000 bartenders a year.
Exactly.
During the winter when we do educational seminars.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. But seems to me that you'd like to reach a broader audience still than even those 1,000 or so.
I do.
How you going to do that?
Well, there's a huge trend in cocktails at home. I know that Diageo's recognized it at their
people like to drink at
world-class
home?
competition. They do. And as much as I love the red, white, and blue cans, people are wanting to drink good cocktails at home. They go to bars like yours and mine, and they spend $12 or $15 on a cocktail, which is fantastic. But a lot of the time, they want to bring friends over and recreate high-quality drinks like that at home. So you see on the market tons of premium spirits, which people are buying. And then lots of modifiers, like how many bitters are there out there?
A bunch.
Or how many types of ginger syrup do you see at Whole Foods?
Yeah.
So people have these ingredients at home, and they realize that there's a need for like a fresh lemon or lime every now and then, or always. And we're trying to teach them how to make really high-quality cocktails at home with a few minutes of video online. So if you go to Instagram and you see like the Food Network, everything is like a 30-second to 2-minute video on how to cook a whole dinner. So it's really speedy. It's definitely fast-forwarded for millennials.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do the same
Infotainment.
thing. Yeah, we're trying to do the same thing with cocktails. So one of my childhood best friends has been in LA in television production for over a decade. And he started his own company called Uncommon Image. And we just produced our first pilot episode, How to Make an Old Fashioned. And the series is called Top Shelf with Andrew Meltzer. So you can check it out on YouTube. Top Shelf with Andrew Meltzer. We're working on a swinging graphic with a bar spoon and a knife chopping a daiquiri in half.
Nice. Okay,
But,
like that
it's-
play on Top Chef. Top Shelf.
It's hopefully going to turn into something that can teach thousands or millions of consumers how to make a great old-fashioned, a great daiquiri, sidecar, Vieux Carré, or Negroni at home. And by giving them the confidence to recreate exceptional classics, we hope that they'll be able to venture off with a little bit of their own creativity and start creating their own drinks. But the main idea is to teach them how to do the basics right. I mean...
Yeah, I've said it a million times. Can't cook rice, can't carve ice.
Exactly.
You can't do the basic thing. Why are you doing the fancy thing?
And, there's obviously a million videos on how to make an old-fashioned on the internet, but I don't think any of them give you very explicit details. So we're going the Alton Brown route, where it's kind of fun and science-y, but we give you really smart technical advice in digestible bits. So you just get a little bit here, like, don't have a bar spoon, use a chopstick to stir your old-fashioned instead of a huge tablespoon, because that's not going to work.
Sure. Right.
Like a chopstick stir.
A chopstick stir is fantastic. It's better than a finger.
Well, yeah.
Once again, we're bringing up Gary Regan. Sorry, Gary.
It all comes back around to him.
Yeah, so we're currently looking for some partners. We're looking for media partners, and we'll have each episode or series of episodes sponsored by different spirits companies. And check out the YouTube teaser, Top Shelf with Andrew Meltzer. We'll have a little information on getting in touch with us there. And hopefully the first video will teach a few people how to make a great old-fashioned at home.
Hey, even that's a win.
Yeah.
You know? Like, get people over that hump.
Yeah.
Put us out of business, man.
Yeah, but we'll still be in business.
Exactly. We were talking about this prior to coming on the show, and in my mind, you weren't here yet, Damon, but when we were sitting here waiting for you to arrive,
sorry,
having a beer and a pizza at Roberta's, plug, you're welcome. We were talking about it, and in my mind, I was thinking, fucking this guy's trying to put us out of business. But at the same time, I come back to the thing all the time. Like, how many shows are there on, say, the Food Network or, Travel Channel or whatever about cooking and stuff like that? People don't fucking go home and do that shit.
No, they
still want to come to the bar because the bottom line is, I do the dishes.
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's
we're never going to go out of business.
That's where it's comfortable, and they don't have to worry about anything, and that's where they find the inspiration. Like, nobody would Google how to make a Negroni if they weren't at Amore Margot first drinking a Negroni and had a great experience with it.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't think this isn't robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is a whole other section of the consumer swath that people want to entertain at home,
Yeah, they're at home drinking already. They just want to do it better.
Yeah.
There was actually, we had some guests on the show with the authors of the 12 Bottle Bar. Have you read that book?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Hell yeah, it's awesome.
That's kind of the basis of the show.
Yeah.
These are things you already have at home, I bet. Like a bottle of triple sec. What can you do with it?
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot.
Chug. Oh,
but it is true. I mean, I'm sure you're like I am, or actually was until very recently when I moved a couple months ago. But there's a lot of us out there, especially in the bar community, who have like just massive, extensive home bars, like more booze in our home bars than you could even fit at your actual like legit bar, that you work at or own. And just like, man, why do I have all this shit here? It's like, really, like I just recently stripped down to having a very, very, like, it's probably less than 12 bottles, actually, to be honest.
How many are mezcal?
2. Which, it's like actually kind of a lot. But yeah, I mean, like, it's stripped down because I don't really drink that much at home. And when I do, all I want to drink is the classics.
Yeah, I pretty much
there's
only
Benedictine
drink only beer and Negronis at home.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that we're in the holiday season, I'm a cognac Negroni myself.
yeah. I just sip stuff neat at home. Although I will, on occasion, have a bottled martini in the freezer.
That
That's definitely very summer for
That's
me, though.
actually a great hosting tip right there.
That's very
Making
summer.
in advance, throw it in the freezer, and just...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
I live with Robbie Nelson from Plymouth Gin, so there's always bottled martinis.
That's in place of ice.
He's a
It's just
Gibson man.
frozen gin.
He's a Gibson man. You got a jar of pickled onions in the fridge?
Well, actually, I do because of Lacey Hawkins, who was on the show about a month ago with Monkey 47. They have the best goddamn pickled onions. They're so intense.
Did they have Monkey 47 in them?
Of course.
Yeah, that makes
Tipsy
pretty much
onions.
everything good.
They're if
Tipsy
you get
onions
your hands
from the
on-
Lady Hawk.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. It's like when you're at home, like, well, for us, like especially industry people, it's like you kind of want to go for classics. I really respect like the home bartender for wanting to get weird with like all kinds of different syrups and making your own bitters and all that stuff. I mean, that's great, and there's a lot of resources out there, especially like your show that just came out. And that to me, like that's inspiring, and it's like we can talk about this stuff all day on the radio, and I hope people still listen to us after your show is launched. but it's really great to have that visual aid and to not really rush it. Also, like you were saying, like on Instagram, you have these 30-second clips. Like give it a little extra time because like we spent a lot of time working on these things ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just putting the thought and looking at the details. It's not just throwing a couple things in a glass. There's so much thought behind what we do behind the bar. It's nice to share some of the advanced techniques, I think. Yeah. And people are hungry for them. People are
thirsty for them.
Oh, yeah, they're so thirsty for them. Look at how many consumers are buying cocktail books that were intentionally written for bartenders.
Yeah,
and now they're lining the shelves of everybody, and they're sitting there right next to all their cookbooks.
Yeah, Morgenthaler's The Bar Book. It's really crushing it in sales, and it's
and it teaches you how to make ginger syrup.
Yeah, exactly, it's gone beyond the people who are behind the bar. It's the people who aren't behind the bar, who are on the other side, just the consumer. I still, not to like poo-poo the idea, but I still subscribe to the notion in my own personal life that I'm. In a lot of things, I am the technician. In the bar, I'm the technician. You're the operator. You sit at the bar. I make you the drink. That's the agreement, right? I'm the operator when it comes to like, well, Damon, he's a technician on his motorcycle. On mine, I ride the thing. When it fucking breaks down, I take it somewhere. They fix it, not me.
Right.
Like I get in the plane, not the cockpit. Like there are things to me that I feel like are just like, I'm just here to enjoy this. So it's always kind of weird to me when I see so many people who want to become more technician in this thing that's supposed to be for them relaxation.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not saying that's not a market to tap into.
But also, you used to cook, man. I mean, like, but I
did that for a job.
But also, think about it, man. Like, when you weren't doing that, like, for me, like, when I owned my house in Oklahoma City, like, I would go out to my backyard, and my grill was that was my zone, man. That's where I cleared my head. It was propane. Sorry.
How'd you know I would be upset with that? Like right away, I'm upset with that.
No, I saw the look on your face. I saw it coming along.
Oh, propane.
No, it was propane and charcoal.
Propane and propane accessories.
Shut up, man. It was propane and charcoal. It was like a dual, like, so like whenever I was like, I would throw frozen pizzas on that motherfucker. And
you just wanted to light up the grill.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to be out there.
To cook outside in nature.
It was my moment of zen, man.
Sure.
Like standing outside sometimes in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter, there's snow on the ground, firing up the grill, and just like standing out there with a beer or a glass of wine, and just like, and it's quiet, and all I could hear was the sound of the fire.
Sure.
And the sizzle of whatever I was cooking, and that was escapism for me. Sure. So you gotta realize it's the same for like. If you're working a desk job and you get home, or maybe it's your lunch break.
Nothing relieves stress like shaking the hell out of a daiquiri.
Yeah, hearing the shaker, hearing the clinking of the ice and the glass and the spoon. It's like, and then I always say that like food always tastes better when someone else cooks it for you.
Sure, of course.
Same with cocktails.
I guess that's kind of what I'm saying.
I get that, but at the same time, it's at that
There's
moment
some self-satisfaction.
It's self-satisfaction.
Yeah,
and like. I love cooking, and I don't get to do it as much as I like to, but when I have guests over and I cook something awesome and memorable for them in my own house, that's super rewarding for me.
Yeah, and there's something, like, inclusive about that as well. It's like I will never be a chef. I don't have the discipline to, like, learn all the different techniques. But whenever I'm talking to a chef, like, I've studied a lot of these techniques, and, like, it's really nice to be able to talk to them about what's going on. And the chef really appreciates it.
Oh, yeah.
When you're like...
When you're not talking out the side of your neck.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing with the bartender. It's like, then there's this inclusivity of, like, being at the bar and being like, would you try shake that for it? It doesn't have egg white. Like, what's your technique on this? Like, what that kind of, like, all that stuff. Like, the really nerdy shit. And, like, for consumers, it feels really good to, like, be able to go in and talk
And
to
to
the
have to have that conversation.
I think we're splitting hairs a
We all
little.
learn from each other.
Of course. I think we're splitting hairs a little bit. Well, I think what you're talking about is more like that that interest from the consumer to at least be able to go home and not feel like they're fumbling around.
I'm getting all West Coast on you, man.
Yeah, and not feel like they're fumbling around, which is great. And also to have some cocktail fodder, some language to use at the cocktail party so that they, can sound a little savvy, even if it's just a quick one-off about what you just said. The dry shake is when you shake with it. They get to say something and look smart, and then they go back to the conversation they were actually having.
But it's also very, adult, it's like a rite of passage into adulthood, I think. Knowing, you should always know you should at least have one dish that you know how to fucking...
Lasagna.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Italian dressing, marinated chicken, that's it.
Yeah, sure. Crushed up Dorito, crusted halibut, whatever it is, which is awesome, by the way.
Sounds delicious.
And what would you pair that with?
Don't get all world class on me, bro.
Bud Light Limerita.
Yeah. Maybe some Fernet from California. I don't know.
Speaking of, all right, we got off topic there for a second. So this show sounds great, by the way. I'm not poo-pooing it at all. And you brought up the methodology that you intended to use, infotainment style, a little shorter. What would you say before the show? 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, there'll be...
Which I think is smart.
Each episode is going to be a 4-minute and 1-minute episode. The 4 minutes will give you more advanced techniques, and the 1 minute will crunch everything down into something you can quickly whip out when you're at your friend's house or when you're actually making a drink for somebody.
I always whip out things when I'm at my friend's house.
Hell yeah.
And it only lasts 60 seconds,
He's
I bet.
known for that, yes. Yeah. So yeah, I love the format. It sounds great, and I think people will be attracted to it. If our show is any example of that, we got a ton of listeners, and they'll show up in droves to see something. They can only hear us.
And look at
little do they know we always do the show in our underpants.
I didn't expect it, but I'm kind of glad because it's a humid day.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, which it looks like we're getting close to time, you brought me a bottle. Well, you brought us a bottle, but I'm taking it.
I figured it's going to Amoria Margo, and we'll go there to drink it.
Yeah,
right.
It says California Fernet. I've never even seen this bottle. Can you talk about it? Do you know about it?
Yeah, it's by my friend Martin Geyer, and he's a Swedish guy. He makes Geyer Glug, which is an old Swedish liqueur with almond and raisin and cinnamon in it. And he started a whole line of mostly Swedish, but also very modern liqueurs and distillates. So he's got an California Aquavit, which is a Scandinavian botanical distillate with
Damon's a huge fan of Aquavit.
caraway and cardamom. And then he's also got a new a Cointreau competitor. It comes in at about the same price and ABV. It's a really, really lovely California orange triple sec.
Nice.
They've also released this California Fernet, and it's got 30 plus botanicals in it. It's made in California in a tiny little distillery on the coast, and it's bottled by my Swedish barback Simon.
Rad.
Yeah, it's close to home.
Yeah, that is close
Very
to home.
tasty
Well, I really
stuff.
appreciate it. And we'll crack open the bottle and give it a taste before we leave the studio. And then for anyone listening, I'll bring it over to Amoria Margo and I will pour you a taste. So come check it out, California Fernet. So did you have before we wrap it up totally, did you have it's YouTube? Is there a URL or is it just...
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and search Top Shelf with Andrew Meltzer. That's Meltzer like seltzer with an M.
Nice.
Meltzer seltzers will be coming in a couple of years.
I was
Don't
going to say.
worry.
Yeah, that seems
there's a whole follow-up package of modifiers and probably some sort of bottled daiquiri. We're not sure how that's going to work yet.
That's amazing. So, Top Shelf with Andrew Meltzer, who's been our guest today on the Speakeasy, world-class 2016 champion forever.
Forever.
Right, that never goes away. Current president, USBG, San Francisco. You're a man of many parts. How long are you going to be in town for?
I'll be here until Friday. I came in town to surprise my cousin. It's her 50th birthday today.
So all those things, and you're kind of a sweetheart. That's amazing.
Yep, so she doesn't know it yet, but I will be hiding in a secret bar that I can't mention behind a very popular restaurant, and they're going to let me hide back there, and after her meal, the service staff is going to escort them out back to the secret bar, and I'm going to shake her real 50th birthday daiquiri.
Nice.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she only gets one.
150.
150th birthday surprise daiquiri from her son, her nephew.
So, yeah, and then you're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Later.
Just throw her the bill and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say I was paying for anything, but I'm here at least.
Yeah, the flight costs way more than the daiquiri.
Yeah. But I am the daiquiri doctor, so if you're on Instagram and if you actually use Twitter, I don't, but I've got a handle there. It's at daiquiri doctor all around.
At Daiquiri Doctor. That's right. I follow you on the Instagram. I posted a photo of you shaking a giant... Yeah, this
You did.
giant shaker. It was like bigger than him.
It was 110 ounces, and every time you wanted to change direction, I had to change my foot position so that I could absorb all the weight.
Yeah. Pretty amazing. Well, thanks, man. It's been really great having you on. You're a great guest. Upcoming shows include, but are not limited to, we got Brian and Leslie from Subject. They're going to come in and tell us the kind of interesting story of how they acquired the bar Subject, which is just over on Suffolk and Houston, right behind Suffolk Arms, Giuseppe Gonzalez's place. We got a potential, unconfirmed as yet, but I don't know if you know him. I feel like you do. Adam Rich, do you know him? He's the guy who founded Thrillist.
Yeah.
He doesn't live here in New York anymore, but he was here, and he came by Coup the other day, and we chatted, and he said he'd be back in town coming up, and we might get him on the show. Really fascinating fellow. The Cat Pack, all of them. All 9, maybe.
Oh, wow.
That's a maybe.
That's going to be a room full of sweaty dudes in underwear.
Well,
Sounds weird.
Cat Pack is ladies.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it went from weird to awesome.
But there will be also a bunch of sweaty dudes in underwear.
Yeah. And the venerable Jim Meehan has agreed to be with us coming up soon as well. So we got a lot of great shows coming up. So that's what I've got on the calendar.
Cool.
You got
Sounds
anything
good.
to wrap us up with?
I'm just saying, let's get into October, man.
Yeah, October.
Yeah.
Halloween is upon us.
Halloween.
And Mars and beers.
Yeah. What's your costume going to be? Have you figured it out? Do you dress up for Halloween?
I was
you've got
a
a month.
really, really good Andy Warhol last year, and I might just stick with that one because it's been winning for me.
David, you got a plan?
I don't know yet. I mean, I could just go as Willie Nelson, but I don't really have to work very hard at that.
Yeah, that's
And then your brother might show up
your
in the same
everyday.
costume.
I that's the thing. Is you're also a twin, but
Oh crap! I forgot. We forgot to talk about that. It's creepy as
I can
fuck.
usually just if I forget it's Halloween, it's I'm my brother Dylan.
You lazy bastard.
But you know what? I nail that costume. Fucking nail it.
Yeah, you do. It's mirror image. It's creepy as fuck.
What about you?
I shuttlecock. Yeah. I'm gonna cut a kickball in half and wear it as a hat. I'm gonna wear a mesh jersey, and I'm gonna cut the bottom out of a laundry basket and wear it as a skirt.
That is well thought out. Good for your form.
Hey, shuttlecocks, everybody.
Well, it's been a great show today.
It has.
But that's it for the Speakeasy this week. Thanks again, Andrew, for being here, and thanks for the Fernet. And check out Heritage Radio Network for many more programs like this one. Click on the Beating Heart to donate to the station and help us continue to hang out and
Drink
come
beer.
up with wacky ideas about Halloween costumes. Until next week, I'm Damon Bolte.
My name is Sother Teague.
And Andrew, cheers.
Cheers,
I'm
buddy.
Andrew Meltzer. Thanks for
so
having
much.
me.
Yeah, cheers,
Cheers
guys.
guys.
So you don't charm the devil with your rock and roll. Lord knows that country music's gonna save your soul. The devil runs his groove in them rhythm and blues that sound. It's gonna get you some in the end.
Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. For our freshest content and to hear about exclusive events, subscribe to our newsletter. Enter your email at the bottom of our website, heritageradionetwork.org. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at heritage_radio. Heritage Radio Network is a nonprofit organization driving conversations to make the world a better, fairer, more delicious place. And we couldn't do it without support from listeners like you. Want to be a part of the food world's most innovative community? Rate the shows you like, tell your friends, and please join our community by becoming a member. Just click on the beating heart at the top right of our homepage. Thanks for listening.